Hello, this is the Sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Monday, April 24th, 2023. Today, the weather around here in this part of Kentucky, Lexington, is around 37 degrees, going up to 55. Over the weekend, it's been chilling down, and tonight there's going to be a freeze warning. So, be prepared, Lexington. Something I didn't mention when I was talking to you last, and that's in reference to COVID-19. You may have received some information about a home testing kit. Those are available if someone approaches you, maybe by phone or email, etc., etc. You can take advantage of that and accept the offer of home testing kits. There are 2 tests per box. I've received several of them. I think I might have a total of 7. So get yours when it's offered. So if you're watching the Sideshow with Theodore Parker on Facebook, Instagram, and talking about it on WhatsApp, apps associated with Facebook, don't forget to like, comment, and share. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. As far as the Sideshow coffee cup is concerned, if you remember when I first introduced it, I was offering it at $8, and I was handling the cost of the shipping, so $8 and shipping was free. Now, a little bit further along, the price is $17 plus shipping and handling. And you can buy those from me still. And pay me through Cash App, $TR Parker 1. Before we get into items that occurred or were in the news over the weekend or since I was last talking to you as an audience, on my Facebook page, from time to time I like to speak up on what's going on. And this particular time, I'd like to acknowledge the celebrities that have taken time to post things on my Facebook page. Those celebrities include those people who are inside and outside of the entertainment industry. So, I appreciate you, quote unquote, in a figurative sense, stopping by and letting me know what's going on. And I would particularly like to acknowledge Michelle Obama for taking some time to post some of her activities. Appreciate it. Thank you. That being said, let's get into some items today. In Alabama, now this is a particularly situation which not only gets into education but also gets into the phrase woke, what it means to be woke, not woke, and even kind of touches on CRT, critical race theory. So here we go. Alabama education official resigns after governor's criticism of woke training texts. A top Alabama education official has resigned after Governor Kay Ivey accused her of distributing teacher training textbooks containing woke concepts. Barbara Cooper, secretary of the Alabama Department of Early Childhood Education, has resigned from her post, Ivey's press secretary announced in a statement released to outlets. Spokeswoman Gina Mayola said the administration objected to material contained in the National Association for the Education of Young Children Developmentally Appropriate Practice Book, 4th edition, which allegedly features content that is simply not in line with the Ivy administration of the people of Alabama stand for or believe. Declaring that woke concepts have no place at any level of education in the state of Alabama, she said Ivy was concerned the text teaches about larger systematic forces or systemic forces that perpetuate systems of white privilege. Now, if you didn't catch it, let me pause and tell you again. This is a training manual that's exclusively in the possession of people who have certain positions in the Department of Education for the state of Alabama. So, it's not used in the classroom or distributed as part of student textbook curriculum. Continuing, the National Association for the Education of Young People defended the teaching manual, pointing out that the text in question is not part of the educational curriculum, but rather serves as a resource for teachers. Ivy ordered Cooper to cease using the text and to send a memo denouncing the said text, then accepted her resignation. So the particulars are like I kind of went over it in my mind, and you know, don't take what I'm saying as to referencing some source material. It's just me thinking about it. So you have a position, you know, you take the position over, and just say for some other reason or whatever reason, you know, you save a box of books, you know, that you did not necessarily order, but they're part of what your position requires, so they've been sent to you. So you get into the box and you find out, okay, this book's here, this book's here, this book's here, you know, and as you peruse through them, you discover this book. So I'm not going to try and like dumb out all the details and all my, you know, thoughts about it, but it's like, you know, the homeowner asking the maid that she dusts behind the bookcase, and the bookcase goes from floor to ceiling. And the maid says, no, I didn't dust behind the bookcase. So we might be hearing some more behind this situation right here. In Mississippi, NAACP sues over Mississippi's legislation expanding state power in Jackson. The NAACP filed a lawsuit against Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves, and other members of the government over two pieces of state law which would expand state influence over policing in the capital city of Jackson. Reeves signed the laws, House Bill 1020 and Senate Bill 2343, this week. The House bill creates a separate state-controlled legal system for the Capitol Complex Improvement District at a 17.5 square mile area surrounding the Capitol building in Jackson, including a panel of state-appointed judges. The Senate bill makes it more difficult for people to protest at the Capitol and other state buildings by requiring permits through the state-controlled Capitol Police. So, that's a change. Now, out to Colorado. This is an incident at one of the schools of Colorado. Before we get into it, it's not a, mass shooting involved situation, but it does involve the children and a bus driver. Although he was a substitute bus driver, it goes like this. That's why you need to be in your seat. Students lurched forward after bus driver braked. Now charges are filed. Charges have been filed after video from inside Colorado bus shows children violently lurched forward after the driver suddenly applied the brakes in an apparent attempt to teach the children a lesson. Now this is, the big yellow bus, and if you ever stepped on one, and my memory serves me correctly, there are no seatbelts on these buses. So, we've all seen film, we know how young children are, even high school children. If they ride the bus, they're going to be talking and, doing this and that, may even decide to switch seats to get closer to somebody they want to have a conversation with if one is available. But there are no seatbelts. So as in the case of anyone that's responsible for children, the operative word is, be careful, drive safe, et cetera, et cetera. And there are enough reports of buses sliding off the road due to weather or road conditions and so forth. So it continues. Brian Fitzgerald, 61, a substitute bus driver for Castle Rock Elementary School, was charged with 29 misdemeanor counts of child abuse with no injury and 1 count of child abuse, bodily injury, according to the Douglas County, Colorado District Attorney's Office. His first court appearance is scheduled for May 12th, online court records show. A parent reported the incident to the school district when her 4th grade son told her about it. The Douglas County School District told USA Today that Fitzgerald is no longer employed by the district. So, he thought by braking and sliding the children around on the bus, that would be a form of discipline to make them sit down, stay in their seats, supposedly. Well, now we have this situation. Cruise lines. Cruise line let passenger's body decompose, lawsuit says. Most of you, certain cruise lines come out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and cover that area, etc., etc. So it goes. A widow and her family are suing Celebrity Cruises for allegedly mishandling her husband's body after he died while they were on a ship last year, saying it was left to decompose and they suffered extreme emotional trauma. After Marilyn Jones's husband of 55 years, Robert Jones, died of a heart attack August 15th on board the Celebrity Equinox, his body was stored for nearly a week inside a walk-in cooler normally used for beverages, instead of a properly chilled morgue as she was promised, according to the federal lawsuit filed in Florida. Marilyn Jones, her 2 daughters, and 3 grandchildren are seeking $1 million in damages. In Los Angeles, 250,000 gallons of sewage spill into Los Angeles River. Promptly, beaches close. That's kind of self-explanatory. In Florida, DeSantis seeks federal aid for Fort Lauderdale flood victims. As you know, a few days ago, maybe a week, there was tons of rain, accumulation of water, etc., in Florida. More than 2 feet, 0.6 meters of rain fell in some parts of the county April 12th. The 1 in a 1,000-year deluge left some parts of the county with up to 3 feet, 0.9 meters of water. About 1,000 homes were severely damaged, according to the state. The flooding also closed the airport for almost 2 days. Gas deliveries to the port were also slowed, causing long lines at the pump. While frequently snipping at each other, the Democratic president and the governor have seen their administrations work together after disasters. That includes last year's Hurricane Ian, which killed more than 140 people and left thousands homeless, and the 2021 collapse of a condo tower in Surfside, which killed 98. So this version of the report corrects that DeSantis said he will ask the Biden administration for disaster relief, not that he has formally asked. Delaware. Now this was interesting, and it has to do with marijuana, recreational marijuana. Kind of surprised me. I know years ago I was standing next to somebody and they pulled out what they said was a joint, and I said, well, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen one in years. But this is not talking about CBD. As I was like, oh, they're legalizing marijuana. Now we have all these CBD variations available to the public. So, Delaware will become the 22nd U.S. state to legalize recreational marijuana after its governor decided to allow two bills already passed by the legislature to become law without his signature. Governor John Carney said he would not veto a bill that will allow private citizens over the age of 21 to possess up to 1 ounce of leaf marijuana for personal consumption. And a second bill that would see the state issue 30 retail business licenses over the next 16 months through a bidding process. How about that? The legislation also has provisions for amounts of concentrated cannabis and products containing 750 milligrams or less of Delta-9 tetrahydrocannabinol. I like saying that, or THC. Carney, who has served as governor since 2017, said in a statement, these two pieces of legislation remove all states' civil and criminal penalties from simple marijuana possession and create a highly regulated industry to conduct recreational marijuana sales in Delaware. So, just a few to kind of round out things. During the protest in Minneapolis, there was a traffic stop, and a female officer, in the process of everything that was going on, said she mistook her weapon when she was reaching for the taser. Subsequently, a young man, black man, last name of Wright, was killed at the scene. She will be released or is scheduled to be released soon, female officer. You probably heard about this incident where a 2-year-old boy was found in the mouth of the alligator. So information has come forward after investigation. It seems the father threw the boy in the water after killing his mother. The father. And domestic violence call. Now this was a bizarre turn of events. Police receive a domestic violence call. They respond, or receive a call to come to the home because something's going on. They respond. Young man, black, in his 20s, is taken into custody, and in the process of them putting him in the police cruiser, he gets to kick in at the windows and at the doors and all this other kind of stuff. And also, the officers, in attempting to control him, he decides he's going to spit on or at the officers. So he's in his 20s. So when he gets in front of the judge, with everything in front of the judge, and it comes time to sentence him, the judge gives him 70 years. That's it. Hashtag.